Saul Leiter. So I look at this stuff and I think about Saul Leiter, and so Saul I worked with for maybe just 20 years or so. Saul was kind of refound by Howard Greenberg, and Saul had this amazing body of work, again, connected to people like Louis IV, Helen Levitt, Lillian Bassman. Saul died 2 years ago, 87 or 88 years old, wealthy beyond his own expectations. I think he used to always be so excited when he could come into the lab, my studio, pay his bill. He could pay his electricity, he could buy food, he could go to the Strand and buy books. He was thrilled that he was actually making money. Very sad guy, because he would often sit and talk and say all of his friends had died by the time he started to make money, by the time Howard was able to really kind of establish him as a great American photographer, which he was. He did a tremendous amount of news, a great story because his father was a rabbi, disowned him from Pittsburgh. He came to New York to be a photographer, and rabbi sons are not photographers, right? So he talked about that a lot. And towards the end of his life, he was constantly looking to find and reprint pictures of his father. This is freaking beautiful, right? These prints are up here, so the prints really do look differently. This is Life magazine. So for 30 years, I printed the archive for Life magazine. Great American photographer, Margaret Burke White, like completely underrated, one of the greatest photographers in the history of photography. I got to print her work for those 25 or 30 years. There was a moment when Life, the archives that I worked with, which were like Columbia, Sony Music, Time Life, Magnum, Robert Capa, ICP, they sold a lot of gelatin silver prints. And now they don't. Like, this is an image that there were times when I would print and they would sell 20 of these a year. Now when they output them, it's generally done as a digital output. It's done at a third of the cost, but the cost to the buyer is still the same. But as a gelatin silver object, it's become much less important.